And we're on.
JP, morning.
I was doing some voice warm-ups for any Ron Burgundy fans. I was doing a little unique New York. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. So I'm going to start off. I am gone. This is 24 hours without coffee.
Uh-oh.
And
what's the deal? Why?
Well, Matt, we know you're a big coffee fan. No, we're out.
Oh.
So we get this. We've gone down a coffee journey, which has been fun, right? You kind of get in. We were never into coffee. A couple of years ago, we started doing bulletproof style coffee, and that's really what kicked things off. So now we're making French press coffee. We found this one brand. It's called the Zen Bunny. They are not a paid sponsor yet.
Zen Bunny.
They are a full organic, biodynamic. It's probably like the best coffee you can get, and it's stupid expensive. It's like $25 per little bag, and the bag is not even a full pound bag. It's like less than that. But anyway, coffee's delicious, and so we're out, but we're on a subscription. But the timing isn't right, and this whole Black Swan event is it's like it's supposed to get to you on time,
yeah,
but it's not. So I got to suffer for a day or two without coffee. So you'll meet Greg one day. Greg is a local. He's like he owns a spa, but he's also like a biohacker too. And so he sent us. We bought this tea called Mud Water. It's actually called.
Oh, I've heard of Mud Water. Yeah, I've never. How is it?
Water.
Yeah.
It's not coffee. Okay, let's just put it that way. And that's the problem because it looks like I'm looking at it right now. It looks like coffee, and when you first prepare it, it's a tea of like cacao and reishi mushrooms and cinnamon and a bunch of other stuff, and it smells really good. But you got to put a lot of stuff into it to make it taste good. Like you got to put like honey in there. I don't need to do that. So, so that's, and then the color of it, it looks like you just poured really delicious black espresso.
Okay.
But it's not.
Is it thicker?
No.
Okay.
No. It settles you got to stir it up a lot. It settles to the bottom.
Got it.
That's my thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Doing well. It's been a busy morning already. So, off and running. So
I'm glad your camera's working.
Yeah, me too.
I did a cold plunge this morning.
Cool. I was wondering if you're still doing that.
I do it about 3 times, maybe 4 times a week, depends on what's going on. And we'll get into more on that in a separate episode. This is, we're going to focus on doing our Shaker 6 crime story.
Yes.
All right. So I think let's keep that going. So I think we left off yesterday. We were going to talk about, we finished with inspections. And, the next part to really go into how to really get into start doing real estate investing is to talk about marketing. And marketing is one of these things where I think your skills as an entrepreneur or a business owner, and I think my skills as a salesperson have helped us because it helps us to be able to tell a story, and try to address any kind of reservation that people have or obstacles. And Matt, maybe talk about some of the things that you did early on when we started working together from a marketing standpoint to help us spread the message of what we're working on so that we can get the money to go buy the deals.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess maybe this kind of even goes back into, naming of the company and all of that, we could even go back into that. Do we want to jump back that far? I guess.
Why not?
Yeah.
I have my Mud Water.
We're feeling crazy this morning. So JP and I met a gentleman, Howard Primer. I can't remember if we've talked about him yet or not, but
we need to do a whole show just on that.
Yeah, we could absolutely. But Howard has had a lot of different success over the years with different types of companies. I mean, he's been involved with Amazon and Starbucks, Microsoft. Yeah. So
a metal alloy company, I believe, too.
So he's had these, this experience with branding a company. So we went through was it 3 days? 4 days?
It was a 3 day.
3-day exercise actually right where JP's standing right now. Yeah. We all went to his office and went through this entire exercise where basically we were working on our core values and how we wanted to treat people and what the hierarchy of our ethics were and all of that kind of stuff. And out of that, the term significant kept coming up over and over and over again. We want to make everyone feel significant. We want our members to feel significant. We want our employees to feel significant. Everybody, we want everyone to
We're
feel
giving
like
out significance. You're getting significance. You're getting it. Like Oprah.
So we're significance dolers at this point, right? So we thought, like, significant, that's a fantastic name to name the company, so did some research, and so when you go into doing research, you want to make sure that you can get the .com name. So a lot of the, obviously, significant.com, that was taken. So we ended up putting, an acronym behind it. And we went through a couple different iterations with acronyms, and we ended up landing on essentially LC, which is short for lifestyle communities, because again, we're building these lifestyle communities. We want everyone to feel significant in, a number of different ways, to fit into their lifestyle. So we had our name. We were going to call ourselves Significant Lifestyle Communities, and we started working on the logo, which was just, as you can tell, I mean, if you go to the website, significantlc.com, Significant, right? I guess I kind of got a little ahead of myself there. At any rate, so as we started working,
guys, it's so hard working with this guy.
As we started working on the logo, all that you could see was "I can't," because significant, it literally spells "I can't." So there you go.
Imagine a T there, and all you saw was I can't.
Yeah.
I can't, popping out to the poor guy.
So it was like, well, we can't have that. So we just took off the T, and then Significant was born. And with that, it gave us a little bit more.
It's a unique name, right? You can trademark it and stuff.
Yep, exactly. So it worked really, really well. So from there, then we started working on the branding and all of that, and going through the different color combinations, and ended up landing on essentially a pen tip. Which hold your thing up again, JP. Pen tips on there.
Hold my thing up.
Yes, hold your thing up.
Here we go.
There you go. So there's the pen tip, and you can't really see, but down at the bottom, that's actually an apartment building, like as the pen holder or part.
It's like the tip of a fountain pen. The base of a fountain pen.
Base of the fountain pen. That's a good way to say it.
Made of or built up of buildings, apartment buildings, and they're like the high-rise buildings. But you get the gist.
Yep.
Housing is there. Housing is there.
So now that we had that, we kind of, now you have the look, you have the colors, you have, kind of the feel of what that looks like. And then from there, then you can start putting that into your packages, and, kind of building off of that. So we had some packages marketing packages that we had put together for some other projects early on, but didn't really have a cohesive feel or anything. But now that we had the logo and we had that brand, we were able to, bring those colors through and bring that feeling through, each one of the pages. So at this point, we've got, I think it's probably about 70 pages, something like that, give or take.
I can pull it up real quick and share a screen, because I think our viewers, if I can find you keep talking up.
Yeah. And what also ends up happening with the marketing packages is, as you go through the process, you end up refining it and refining it and refining it.
We're in version 26, I think, is the version we have.
Actually, I think we're in the 30s at this point.
All right.
And that's just on this one project. So we've added things, changed things, tweaked things, based on feedback that we're getting from people and questions and all of that. We kind of keep adding it in there. So we're hoping that we have a pretty complete template at this point. So the next time we go through this, we're able to just, basically plug in pictures, and obviously all the content and everything will have to change. But yeah, we get a lot of compliments on this. And here's JP's pulling up there we go. So you can see we've got the logo down there, and we've got some pictures of the properties, throughout this. And actually Antastafe. So we didn't really get into that.
We did not.
So this is a fantastic story. We have to tell this story.
It's an Antastafe story.
It is an Antastafe. You want to tell how Antastafe came about?
All right. So we have Howard, the gentleman that Matt mentioned, to thank. Howard's helping us, or has helped us, and continues to help us build a business that's essentially a spiritual successor to what he had built when he started his company. His company was called Renaissance PG. And he had created a brand to kind of define the management style, the management ethic, and what it is to exemplify a standard. And that was called Avistale. And so we had to create our own Avistale. And so I don't remember some of the other ones
we went through all kinds of goofy.
We had a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And none of them really stuck. And one day, Matt and I were down in, this is in January, we were in the parking lot. It was raining.
Mm-hmm.
We were touring a property. It was in Tampa,
Yeah.
that's right. And we're waiting for the broker to show us a property. Bridgewater, I think is what it is, if you're actually down there, Bridgewater Apartments. And we were, I don't know, coming up with some ideas. And I said to myself, crap, what about like a Pig Latin? I'm sort of well-versed in Pig Latin, the made-up language. So I'm like, what about if we used a Pig Latin version of a name? And so we started spitballing ideas, and Matt has a habit of saying, that's fantastic. Like that's his thing. You'll hear him say it on the show all the time. And so we were right now like, what is fantastic work out to be in Pig Latin? And it's roughly antastic fe or something like that. And I think we liked where it was going, but we just needed to tweak it a little bit. And so I think we took a little artistic license. We've removed a letter here or there, but it gave us and the world now Antastife. And Antastife is our name brand for our standard, for our quality standard for our communities. And once we go in and we start doing the work and raise them up to a specific quality standard, then and only then they become an Antastife community. And our goal and intention is that as we set up more communities and they become Antastife communities, that our members will seek out, if they have to relocate or they're moving into a new town, they want to seek out to live in an Antastife community. And that's the intention behind it. So that's where Antastife comes from. And we've heard a number of interesting interpretations of the word. Antistafi is a new one. And we actually hired somebody who cost us about $6 on Fiverr to pronounce Antastife for us. And it comes out Antastife like that. Maybe we'll put one on the website somewhere to help people pronounce it. But that's it. That's where Antastife comes. So that's the story for that. I'll keep going down the thing real quick because we won't want to spend too much. I mean, I guess this is important, right? This is the marketing episode. So we go in to explain the highlights of the deal, and there's a summary, and we talk about where the value add rent changes are, and what our plan looks like, and what the CapEx budget looks like. And then we go into our marketing plan. I'm going to scroll through this really quickly because I don't want you taking all our data. And then we put like some bird's eye views from Google with some highlights on there. And this stuff, takes a lot of time and effort. And Matt and his team did a really great job of doing this. I mean, this is probably version 20 something I'm working on, but we're at 30 overall. We've refined this and grew this over a long period of time. There's 60 pages here of stuff. Some of the stuff is borrowed from the marketing brochure. I'm sorry, the broker's brochure, right? The OM. Or the offering memorandum, if you're new to multifamily real estate. And other stuff is taken, we create it. We create these slides, and it keeps going and going, and it's CapEx and our portfolio and what we're doing and our track record. Everyone wants to know your track record. What's your track record? How long are you doing this for? And that's it. So I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, no, that's, So when you present yourself, again, just being able to present yourself in a professional looking way, professional manner is going to go, a long, long way. People are going to pick that up, if they are sent that document, people are going to take you seriously rather than, putting together some. I
mean, that's been our experience so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So something's working.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, cool. So I mean, I think that the key takeaway there, if we could distill this down into important things, is if you are planning on starting a real estate business and you don't have the time or the skill set to be a graphic designer, hire one. It's critical. It's almost as important as like investing in your skill sets for learning how to underwrite. You need to be able to articulate and not make it look like amateur hour.
A child put it together.
It's really, really important. So again, I think I said this before, go do that. So that's where we're at. So we covered marketing.
Yeah.
We got more. You want
What's the next? What are we talking about next?
our hiring process.
The hiring process.
The hiring process. All right, so I'll go into this one. So our hiring process. So many people are familiar with this concept of a personality assessment or profile assessment, or a DISC assessment. And if you're not, they're typically found. You come across them in like the personal development space. Tony Robbins uses a DISC assessment, and it essentially characterizes or puts down on paper who you are as a person. So, you ask a bunch of questions about what you like to do. I'm less inclined, more inclined, least inclined to, and then they ask you a question. And whether it's like organize paperwork, talk to people, tackle a project, take on whatever, right? A whole bunch of stuff. And the purpose of this is to kind of put on paper scores on where you fall in different categories. And so Howard worked with a company called Profile XT. I think they've changed their name now. They're a new company brand name, but it's still the same owner. Greg Masiolik is the founder there. They worked together a number of years ago. And Howard went and this sounds weird, profiled all of his employees. And what that means is he had everybody take the test and or the assessment. It's not even a test, it's an assessment. So they can get scores for everything. And he did it for all the positions in his company. And what that allowed him to do is to see numerically where everybody fits in for each of the different personality sections and how that aligned to the job that we're doing. So what I mean by that is each job has a certain personality requirement. Like if you're going to be a salesperson, you sort of need to be extroverted to be successful. I mean, you could be introvert, maybe you'll do well, but chances are you need to be an extrovert. I think we can all agree on that. So the same principle applies in really any position. So he found that he started looking at his star employees, the ones that were real rock stars. And when you start analyzing and looking and comparing over your star employees for all of your maintenance managers, we call them community services managers. When you look at all of them and you say, wow, their scores all pretty much line up in the same spots or near the same spots, there must be a pattern there. There's probably a reason why they excel so well at their job is because their personalities are a really good fit for that role. So did the next step, which was start to hire people based on filling out these profile exams and looking to see where their scores fell, and then started hiring people that fit with their scores fit within the ranges for the rock stars. And lo and behold, right, you start hiring people that are perfect for the job and they're performing really well. They're happy. Everything is kind of firing on all cylinders. And over time, Howard and Greg worked together and they refined this process. And as part of our arrangement, we've inherited these templates, these profile templates for all these positions. And so for this property, one of the first things we did once we got under contract was we began the search for hiring for these people. And that was going to be looking for a property manager, which we call a community mayor, and a community services manager, which is a maintenance supervisor. And we went through, Jesse, how many different people did we go through? 30 people? 40? At least 30 or 40 different candidates to find people that were qualified enough to take the profile, because it costs money to do that. And then from there, if they were really out of range, we had to let them move on to the next one. But that's what we did. That's kind of part of our recipe for our secret sauce, our recipe for success. And what this means is, if I can spell it out, spoon feed the bottom line here, is it means that we're hiring people, we take over a community, that are in the best position for immediate success. And the beginning of a project is a critical time. It's where you really got to start off on the right foot. And so by using these proven profile templates for the employees, it's critical in our success, and we're really excited. So that's what we did for our Shaker 6 community, and we're still in communications with them as we work through things.
Yeah. No, it's great because it really takes the guesswork out of the hiring process. So many people say, oh, I have this great feeling about this person, but they don't really know anything about that person.
What about that? The one guy that was, he had such a really good heart. The heck was he? I think it was the guy that worked in didn't he work like in not a halfway house, but he worked in like a really, it was like one of those type of places.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And the concern I think we had was on the bottom score. He didn't have, was it like, it was either managerial or he didn't have the people service or it was one of those. There was, so let me back up. For each positions, there's a
I
cognitive
think,
ability.
yeah, I think it was like manageability, like managing others, like being a leader,
Yeah, and
I
there was a
think
being leader was a problem. So
yeah,
we had like the guy checked all the boxes for everything else, but as the community mayor, the general for the property, we needed him to be the leader. And unfortunately, his score was showing that he wasn't the leader. And as much as we like the guy, that's a hard thing to coach and retrain. And it's maybe if we were in a different position, we had a bunch of other properties under our belts, or we had room to be able to closely monitor that, we could do that. But for a property where it's a bit farther away from where we're both based out of, it's critical that the person that we hire has that leadership capabilities.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it takes the guesswork right out. You go by with what the score does, and we've learned that do what Howard says.
Yeah. So don't question.
Don't question it. When we do, it always works back out. We're like, crap, Howard was right. Howard was right. So
that's what experience does.
That's what it does. That is exactly what it does. So we've covered some good stuff today. I think we could end on a good note, and on our next episode we'll get into, oh boy, a bunch of different blunders for contracts and mm-hmm. And agreements and arrangements and all that fun stuff. You're going to love hearing that. Right?
Excellent. Fantastic.
All right, Matt.
Excellent.
Good job today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to give you a COVID high five.
Sounds good.
See you later.
See ya.